a beast.
Brandon Marshall, a terrific grab. The catchability of Brandon.
He just throws it up in the air and he figures 15 is going to go get it.
Go-to guy that needs the ball to survive.
I mean, he was basically a man amongst boys. I'll be honest with you, the reason why I really looked into Brandon Marshall is my son was at Houston at that time. He says, I just spent a day with him. I can't tell you what a great guy he is.
Brandon wanted to accompany me today, so you guys can ask him all the questions.
Why is it always the quarterback to come do these big old press conferences? Golly, I want to see this ugly face every day.
I gave him statistics of Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. I said, I think they're around 140 touchdowns as a duo. I said, we're going to beat that.
This is where you start to make your legend, and let's wait and see what the kid can do. Protection breaks down, pass is going to be caught. This is going to be Brandon Marshall with a lot of room to run. Marshall squares, the big receiver, runs to a tackle. He's on his feet, foot race. Brandon Marshall, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's got a Denver touchdown. Brandon Marshall ran right through a couple of tackles.
We had this moment, and I was like, that's the first one. I said, we got 139 more to go.
Marshall at the top of your screen. The fade to Marshall. Touchdown!
2nd and 24 for Cutler. Blitz, and he gets away. Throws complete. It's Marshall again. The Marshall plan working in Denver, and he's looking for the end zone.
Well, he's 6'4", but he plays like he's 5'9". I mean, he catches the ball and runs around like Steve Smith.
Brandon Marshall spins him into the ground and almost runs through the entire Chief defense.
Set your TiVo on that one, folks. You'll want to see it again.
How I play the game, fighting for every single yard, that energy, that attitude to come out.
Jay Cutler told us Brandon makes life easier.
And I think Ricky Manning just didn't realize that a guy 6'4", 230 could run by him like that.
I wanted to wear Air Force One on the football field. So basically what I did is I bought a fresh pair of ones and I took a Reebok sole and I pretty much glued them together. I wore them and I actually had 18 catches that game.
Go to Marshall whenever you can. The Marshall plan. Acrobatic. He spears that ball while being pulled by his face mask. Fakes, throws deep. Touchdown, Brandon Marshall. Wouldn't you know that?
Cutler to throw to the end zone. Touchdown! This one to the sideline for Marshall. What a beautiful throw and catch.
He's a terrific player. I mean, he's such a physical specimen. I was shocked how big this guy is on the field. I mean, he's listed at 6'4". He's closer to 6'6", in my opinion.
Cutler, quick pass over the middle, complete to Marshall. And here's Marshall looking for running room. Still on his feet. Coming this way. 20.
I'll tell you what, that kid has heart. Look at this. Are you kidding me? That's not LaDainian Tomlinson. That's a wide receiver.
Clinty with the block, and downfield he goes, and it's caught! What a catch at the 32 by Marshall!
Orton in the shotgun, blitz up the middle. Orton steps, throws. He's got Marshall. Brandon makes a great catch. Marshall is loose. 30, 25, cuts back inside the 20. He's still on his feet. 15, 10, 5. Are you kidding me?
I remember the New England game, how he just took that game over in a tight red zone.
Sometimes it looks like stealing when you give Brandon Marshall the ball in the red zone.
Too big and too strong that time for Lee Bodden.
From the shotgun, Orton with all kinds of time, going to go deep, has a man wide open for the touchdown. Brandon Marshall from the 24, play fake. Orton with time, going to go deep, wide open again is Brandon Marshall.
Orton with time for Brandon Marshall. What a catch by Marshall.
That's as beautiful a catch as you're going to see. He told me before the game he's going to put on a show. He is not disappointed.
Orton's throw underneath to Marshall. Runs by one Colt, ducks another, and still another. And on his feet. What a run by Marshall.
The more you get him the ball, the better he is.
He's a nightmare to have to cover.
Everyone in the ballpark knows he's going to get a chance on almost every throw.
And this may be his best of the afternoon. Watch him reach behind him and just snatch the ball out of the air. Orton throws. Marshall, touchdown Denver! 20th catch of the game. It ties an all-time NFL mark.
A catch away from an all-time NFL mark of 21 down the middle. It's Marshall. He's got the record. Does he have a first down? He laterals.
That was Marshall's 21st catch. He now holds the NFL record, breaking it set by Terrell Owens.
I'm mic'd up, so watch what y'all say to me.
He's got a contagious, excitable type personality.
Hey, I gotta work myself up. Come on now, let me work myself up, man.
You know, I like being around guys like him. He's got juice.
Down the far side, that is complete. Inside the 30-yard line to Brandon Marshall.
Wow, it doesn't get much better than that.
Miami's had the ball for the whole quarter. Off the fake on 3rd and inches. Over the middle, the catch is made and working his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Brandon Marshall. Pressure up the middle on Henne. He goes deep into double coverage, and the catch is made by Marshall at the 8-yard line.
Nobody does it as well as this guy going up and getting the football.
5 coming. Henne looked right. Now goes left. Catch is made. Marshall inside the 30, inside the 20, taken down at the 7.
Brandon Marshall has that big wingspan, and even when you feel like you have him covered, he can extend those hands and those arms and catch the ball away from his body.
His nickname, the Beast.
And all of a sudden, Marshall is bigger, stronger at 6'4", 225.
He's great with the catch, but once he has the ball in his hand, he's even better.
Marshall steamrolls his way into the end zone.
When he was with us in Miami, he'd make some grabs, and we would just be like, oh my gosh, he just caught that. We were down playing the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Marshall has the catch.
Brandon goes up, he elevates, and grabs this ball with his guy hanging on him and comes down with it. It's when I was just like, okay, this guy is legit.
Matt Moore, end zone. Brandon Marshall, touchdown.
And Moore going deep, and he's got his receiver caught. Marshall beating Forbes. That is a Miami Dolphin touchdown.
1st and 10 for Miami to start out this second quarter. Moore, home run ball. He's got Marshall. Thomas remains in the game. Moore throws. A strike to Marshall. Touchdown, Dolphins.
1st and 10 for the AFC. Andy Dalton downfield, and it was a great chance to be picked off there. Wait a minute. Brandon Marshall came up with it. That'll go down as one of the great highlight reel touchdowns in Pro Bowl history right there.
It's a very special moment for me. Couldn't ask for a better situation. Being a Chicago Bear, to be back with Jay Cutler.
I've been good for 6 years now. It's time to be great.
This is 3rd and 6. Dallas out of timeouts. Cutler to Marshall with nobody home. Chicago touchdown.
A legitimate go-to combination for the Chicago Bears. They haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since 2002.
Cutler on 3rd down and 3, fires to the end zone, and the catch is made by Marshall for a Chicago Bears touchdown.
Jay!
I think Chicago is a great fit for him up there. You know, get reunited with Jay Cutler.
When Brandon's out of practice, he wants the cameras on him. He'd be mic'd up every game if they let him. He'd be mic'd up every practice if they let him.
Listen, I know you're mic'd up. I know you got your cameras here. So get the hell away from me. All right? I don't have time for this. Go away.
Right here. Tuck right here. Get out of my face. 43-inch vertical. Might as well use it.
43 now, huh? 36.
Cutler looking around. Touchdown to the back of the end zone to Brandon Marshall.
This is straight down the field. Not a lot of design to this. Remember how big Marshall is.
Brandon Marshall, his 3rd TD catch today.
He makes really tough catches.
Now that's what you can do when you have a receiver like that.
You know, obvious defensive pass interference, guys hanging all over him. It's a special thing.
Double teamed in a jump ball situation, and Brandon Marshall wins. Brandon Marshall was so late with his hands that he had no chance.
Cutler to Marshall, what a catch.
He just turns around and shields off the defenders, and it looks easy. Cutler over the middle, hits Marshall. And Marshall stays on his feet for the touchdown.
There was nothing going to deny Brandon Marshall from his 10th touchdown of the year. It's a way to rage up the field, Brandon. Excellent route.
Great route runner.
He does everything right on the field. If you look at the film, he's a polished receiver. You see young receivers who read zones and they don't stop in the hole. They keep going. He stops in the hole, give his quarterback better throws.
He has like a little secret move that he gets away with. He kind of like to grab my top shoulder and pull me through.
Looking for Marshall. Touchdown.
When he doesn't know what to do, he just throws it up in the air and he figures 15 is going to go get it.
He's a big body receiver, great hands, goes up and gets the ball.
The catchability of Brandon.
From the 32-yard line on first down, Cutler with loads of time. He fires. Marshall, touchdown.
Marshall made a terrific grab.
Cutler is going to throw him the rock, covered, not covered, people over him.
Cutler to throw, going for Marshall down the field. He got it over Joe Hayden. Third down and goal at the 5-yard line. They flip the field down to the north end zone. Marshall right.
Under pressure, and he just kind of flew it up there. And Brandon turned his body entirely, caught it, and was able to stay in bounds.
Touchdown, Brandon Marshall. What a grab.
I mean, he's a grown man.
You don't realize how big he is until you stand next to him. This guy's 6'5". He looks like Charles Barkley in his prime. And he hits the rack, man. He can own you at the line of scrimmage. And he's a bad matchup for a lot of guys I know.
I remember watching a game on Monday night, and they were playing the Niners. He made that one-handed catch out of nowhere.
Throws it behind Marshall. He pulls it in for the touchdown.
Wow. That's just wow. This is just about body position. Get to the goal line, box out like you're getting a rebound, and then throw it hard.
Cutler, short drop to the end zone. Caught. Brandon Marshall.
The Green Bay Packers send everybody. There's no free safety in the middle of the field. Marshall finds the ball first and then just fights his way into the end zone. That's the kind of effort you want to see if you're part of the ownership of the Chicago Bears.
I feel like if you throw the ball anywhere near him, he'll catch it.
Anytime there's a receiver that's bigger than a linebacker, you start second-guessing if you're playing the right position.
Leaping grab. Brandon Marshall touchdown.
First down and 10. Forte with the block. Up the middle they come. And downfield he goes, and it's caught. Marshall.
2nd and 5, and Cutler down the field. What a catch! Juggling and eventually reeling it in, Brandon Marshall.
Play action. Fitzpatrick drops the throw, looks over the middle, steps up, fires one left sideline, and it is intercepted. Picked off, sagging back in coverage to Sean Gibson, but he lost the football. He got hit, lost it, and it is recovered by Brandon Marshall. Offset eye right. He throws a lob, back right corner. Brandon Marshall makes the catch, throw it up to a franchise wide receiver, and let him go make a play.
Growing up, I watched a lot of Brandon Marshall. I tried to mold myself, a little bit, just as far as being just as versatile.
Hey, you isolate a great receiver, he's going to beat. What a pickup he has been for the Jets.
Fitzpatrick to throw. Deep ball. They're going to test him right away. It's Marshall. Brandon Marshall, the grab.
And an all-pro wide receiver bailed out the quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick can't believe it.
What? Did you see that catch? Me! Nice catch. Way to bail my ass out. Nice catch.
Fitzpatrick on 2nd and 4. And Marshall made the adjustment and takes it into the end zone for a Jets touchdown.
Fitzpatrick looking in that direction, throwing. Diving catch made by Brandon Marshall. That is a catch that puts Brandon Marshall over 1,000 yards receiving on the season.
The first player to do it for 4 different teams.
Go, go, go!
Fitzpatrick, the throw, end zone! Marshall's got it!
Brandon Marshall walls off the defender. Quick snap and a quick pass right, caught by Marshall down the sideline across the 50. He's at the 40, right sideline 30, to the 20, 10, 5, stiff arm, touchdown!
Well, there are times when a quarterback must have faith in his receiver, and that's what Fitzpatrick has in Marshall.
Brandon Marshall, 6'5", and I'm just bigger and stronger. Just pushing, throwing to the side. The reason why they nicknamed him the Beast.
Fitzpatrick said, look, I got great respect for Richard Sherman, but I love my guy. You see the strength of Brandon Marshall. Fitzpatrick trusts in him. Big explosive play for these New York Jets.
Shotgun. Fitzpatrick fires. End zone. Juggle and caught. Touchdown, Brandon Marshall.
Above his physical talent, he's still learning what they want him to do down to down. Marshall in traffic, held on.
His size and strength has been a winning edge for him for years.
The evolution in Brandon Marshall is his ability to adapt.
Man, what a play. Brandon Marshall's a stud.
He's been self-labeled a beast since he came in the league and pretty much shows up every week.
He just makes catches and make you go like that's going to be on top 10.
Brandon Marshall with the grab, and that was a beauty.
Put 1-5 on his back. That's Brandon Marshall.